Снайпер! Контакт! Прикрой меня! Я должен перезарядиться!
Well, folks, here we have the M-VII-Yoh tank coming from Blitz as a premium tier 8 instead of a tech tree tier 7. That's fine, that's alright. The Russian server doesn't have the TS60, they're just getting it. But what the frick is a FV205b Alligator? Is it like the E90 or E100 crocodile? Jagdpanzer crocodile? I am interested. Alright folks, the Russian Common Test server has been updated to patch 1.27 with 3 new hidden vehicles. Well, technically 2, but the Russian server doesn't have the TS60, and new 3D styles for their battle pass and assembly shop for summer. So their battle pass doesn't have the D-Day stuff. We'll take a look. But M-VII-Yoh tier A premium American heavy tank. This was the tech tree tier 7 on Blitz instead of the M-VII-Yoh, but large turret. It's a massive turret. That's like half the weight of the vehicle. It covers entire engine deck in the back. Basically, you have a free heater in the winter time for the commander underneath the freaking turret. That is massive. Also, the cupola is huge as well, but the hull also look elevated too. It is rounded, but large caliber gun has above average alpha for a 120, but this vehicle is not pretty. It's so big. Premium tank makes more credit and crew XP. It's a 120mm. DPM sucks, but alpha damage is above the 400 threshold usually. It's about the same as the T-54's 120mm, right? It packs more punch for a 120, surprisingly, but alright, that's a big caliber gun, or a big alpha for that caliber of a gun, but AP round, high explosive anti-tank, yeah, high explosive, DPM sucks, 1600. Has gun depression, but traverse for the turret is slow, accuracy is mediocre, actually below average, should be about 0.36, aim time is actually alright, but AP shell, so it's a big vehicle. Alright, 1550 health, not bad. Has 300mm for the turret front and 135 on the hull front. It has a cupola weak spot though. Yeah, turret is very strong, right? Other than the rangefinders, surprisingly. Yeah, rangefinder is a weak spot, but cupola is obviously the weak spot. Upper plate, not that thick. It is rounded in an egg shape on the hull sides, but it's only 120 on the bottom plate. Not great. 80 on the hull sides. And it's also flat too. There are a few trollish areas with the V-shape-esque of 55mm, but or 65mm, but yeah, 80 right here. So don't really side scrape, but this is a massive vehicle. Upper plate is only about 210mm effective. It's alright. Big ass turret. Top of the turret is only 40. Gets high explosive from artillery shells. It's so huge of a vehicle. Oh, okay. I mean, technically you could bounce a few, but the cupola is a big weak spot, obviously. Alright, mobility wise, 16.4 horsepower per ton ratio, not bad. And 45 kilometers per hour top speed. Hull traverse is also pretty decent for a heavy, but can I see the actual terrain resistance? I can. 1.4 for hard, 1.7 for medium, and terrible for soft. Terrible. But it's the double tracks, so you can get it blown off temporarily and still move. So like with all the Yoh tanks, it's a double track system. But that doesn't really come into play that much most of the time. It's not a big deal, not really. And camo is utter crap. It's a big ass vehicle. View range, average 390, but I mean, we are missing this vehicle from Blitz technically. So Blitz don't have the M-V-I-Yoh, but yeah, this could work. The gun could work. It's like with the, I think T-54 heavy tanks alpha. Have to make sure. T-54 heavy. It has more alpha than the average 120mm, surprisingly, but that is the only upside of that vehicle. 450 alpha, never mind. Surprising, but just a small caveat. Moving on to their Alligator. FV205b Alligator. Oh my god. What is this thing? It looks like a cross between a badger and a tortoise. Has a commander cupola weak spot, but it's smaller than the tortoise, technically. It looks a lot like the badger. It's wide, very wide, but somewhat of a low profile, somewhat. Oh man, is it as good as a tortoise at tier 9? The tortoise is one of the best tier 9 assault tank destroyer, but if this thing has the armor, if this thing has the DPM, ooh la la, it's a premium too. So technically a premium, but without the bond making capability for some reason. Alright. Big ass vehicle. It's a L7? Oh, what? It's not L1, A1, 120? Oh, it's even a smaller caliber. It's a medium tank gun, practically, for a tank destroyer. Oh no. I mean, it has decent DPM, but not as crazy as a Tortoise. Tortoise is 3,500. So 500 less DPM, takes longer to aim, and worse accuracy. Accuracy on the Tortoise is amazing. 0.3 or something, but traverse arc of 18 per side, 10 degrees of gun depression, 14 elevation. Penetration is actually better than the L1, A1, 120 by like 10-ish millimeters, but less alpha by 10, obviously. Does it get a good high explosive round? Not bad HESH round. And it's 2 HESH rounds. It is actually like the Centurion, the 7-1. So gold HESH and regular high explosive HESH. So you get better penetration HESH, but better alpha damage. Not as much penetration, or just switch to regular HESH rounds. So no gold shell on this vehicle. You have to rely on the APCR standard shell. Is it APCR? Should be. APCR and gold HESH round and standard HESH rounds. Alright. So no gold round on this vehicle, but is it good in armor? 100 less health than the Tortoise. Also not a full crew without the extra loader in the spot, as well as the radio operator too, but only a 4-man crew. Huh. 279mm at the hull front. Oh, it's effectively 250. And auto bounce 280, 500 or so. So commander cupola is a weak spot, but you can mitigate it by gun depressed. Yeah, it's pretty small when you're gun depressed, but lower plate about 240, 260-ish for the middle plate. It's like a Tortoise, but smaller of a weak spot. Side armor is side skirts of 25, tracks of 35, actual armor of 76. The superstructure is thick, 177 on the sides, but slight weak spots with the gun mantlet thing of 203, and top of the turret or superstructure. It is like a Tortoise in some cases, but gold shell will go through. That's a downside. Gold shell, spam into the middle plate, spam into the side of the superstructure, will likely pin. But if you're faced off against tier 7s, then they have no chance of penetrating other than shooting the cupola. Only downside to this thing is the gun. It's only a L7. Alright, mobility wise, about the same horsepower per ton ratio as a Tortoise, but better top speed. Weighs about 62 tons. So about 15 ton less than the Tortoise. Slightly. Alright. Camo, not bad technically. It's like a medium tank. And view range, decent. Ooh. Oh my god. I mean, power for power, tier for tier, level wise, not as crazy, right? As a turtle. The turtle got buffed. This thing is still viable as a premium tank, in my opinion. It's still like a 6.5 or something, but I wish it was something of a E90 or E100 crocodile with a very big caliber of a gun, right? But it's not the 123mm on the Badger. So it's only a L7. Alright, moving on. The TS60, we won't spend that much time. Yeah, this is actually a premium with the bomb making capability, but somehow a little bit different for the Alligator. Alright, the same amount of crew, the same amount of gun, 120mm, but it takes about 4 seconds to aim this gun compared to like 1.9, 1.8. Let's just pull up the TS60 on the actual main server. 1.6 seconds of aim time compared to 3.8. What? It's longer than twice the aim time. Granted, it has a little bit better accuracy. But less DPM. Actually, more DPM. Never mind. Slightly more DPM. But better penetration. Yeah, better penetration by 16mm. The same gun arc. Slightly faster moving about for the turret. A lot faster, never mind. 29 compared to 18. Yeah, a lot faster for the pseudo turret. But armor wise, 200mm for the upper plate compared to 120. So armor is better on the Russian version. But the Russian vehicles have different meta. They have a different stat buff compared to our vehicles. So take it with a grain of salt. But ooh, 200mm is like an E100 upper. Oh my god. 400mm effective. Upper plate is dramatically stronger. Holy crap. Yeah, it's dramatically stronger. What the hell? It's 250 or so. I mean, it's relatively okay for our version of the TS60, but 400mm. Lower plate about 190. So similar, but cupola 55 compared to 160. So stronger cupola too. And 52 compared to 40. So much better sloping and thicker armor on the roof for the 50mm. Yeah, the turret roof and the cupola is also stronger. Side armor is 100 compared to 80. So it's more aggressive of a heavy tank to shore thing, but yeah, it's also a tank to shore, but yeah. It takes twice as long to aim the 120mm. Why? Granted, it has more pen, but yeah, there's a small difference. Discrepancy in the stats. That doesn't matter that much. Alright, moving on. There's a new style for the BZ-74. We already covered this vehicle, but it gets a bunch of leaves now. It should have its own camouflage pattern, but that is pretty basic of a assembly shop style for a tier 10, right? That is pretty measly of a style compared to our object for 52k. That's nothing. That's a bunch of leaves and camouflage net, and that is it. I mean, then again, they already have like 2 assembly shop already on the Russian server, so They had one for the SU-122V and one for the SU-122-54. So they already have like multiple assembly shops, but it will be funny if we get like 3 assembly shops for tier 10 this year. One for the Vickers main battle tank Mark III, and one for possibly the main battle tank MBT American thing. I forgot the actual name. Compare the style of just a camouflage net to this thing, right? Compare it to the 452K. I don't have, where the hell is my 452K? There it is. Yeah, compare the style of this to just some camouflage net. Oh, whatever, guy. Alright. So, it will be interesting. MBTB, that's the actual name. So, we could see 3 assembly shops for tier 10 this year. That would be kind of nuts, but then again, not out of the realm of possibilities for wargaming now. So, alright. And let's wrap up with their 3D style for their battle pass without the D-Day stuff. So, they have the E50M. It should show me the animation. Yeah, the animation. Let's turn on the actual audio. Give me a split second. Alright. Replay the actual animation. It's like a transformer thing. No radar. Yep, that's neat, but the shower curtains on the sides doesn't come up. It's not amphibious of a vehicle. It's not. It has the propellers ghetto on the road wheels, little propellers, but yeah, the shower curtains doesn't come up, unfortunately. It also has a jet Yoh tank. Has engines on the back of the turret. Holy crap. It's not realistic at all. It's a Tomcat of a Yoh tank. The wings come out. Alright. That's neat, I guess. Oh yeah, the wings come out. It goes back in. Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, this one's a little bit better than the E50. And finally for the Minotauro. It's like a little claw. Does a saw come out? Yes, it does. What's the point? You're not using it. It's a crusher, it's a claw, it's a saw. But also the eyelids come out with the machine gun thing. Like right here. Does it come out? Replay the animation, please. No? Let me just reset. Reset the animation for the eye slot. There's machine guns coming out. I don't know. Does the water cannon on top useful? No, it's not. Alright, there you go, folks. All the 3D styles, all the new vehicles on the Russian common test. Alligator seems interesting. Doesn't seem as crazy of a meta defining as the turtle, but eats gold shell, I think. Yeah, gold shell is kind of susceptible for this vehicle, but cupola is smaller. And funny about the Tortoise, if you shoot the cupola, there's a loader behind it. So you actually damage the loader or injure the loader and knock off some of the DPM, but that's a small detail about playing the Tortoise. There's a loader right here, sitting right here. Commander's actually right there, but loader right here. Shoot here, injure one the loader, slower DPM. reload time, but not as strong as this vehicle, in my opinion. Tier for tier, meta for meta, this is more effective of a vehicle than the Alligator. But still, it's interesting. Give us the E90, E100 Crocodile, and I'll be happy. But it's what the hell is this thing? Alright folks, the Russian comment test. So new stuff, but sometimes it might jump. What the hell is happening? Oh, this thing's happening. So sometimes it might jump from the Russian server to our server, but who the hell knows? Also, their WoT Plus is actually the Object 752 rental. So you're renting the Object 752, not the TS54, and they have a early access system for the GPT-58 or the GPT-BZ tanks. It's basically a copy of the BZ tanks, all with high explosive shells. Autoloader high explosive. Autoloading 122 high explosive gun for the BZ-58. They call it the GPT-58. Whatever. AI, I guess. But no rocket boosters in the back. It fires a high explosive round. 150mm penetration. 2 rounds in the clip. 3 seconds between each shot. It's god awful in accuracy and aim time, but whatever. Theoretically 2000 or 1000 damage in 3 seconds, right? GPT 166. It's a 130, 160, 800 alpha, a little bit better pen, but it's at tier 8. 2 rounds in the clip, 3 seconds between each shot. God. No rocket boosters. None of these have rocket boosters, but it will piss a lot of people off if you bring something of an early access BZ-176 as a tech tree vehicle into our server. People will riot. 160mm for the GPT-68, the BZ-68, but more alpha now, 950, because why not? And the final BZ-75 with a 180mm autoloader, 2 rounds of 1200 alpha damage. Stupid. So yeah, these are should not be a thing, but more accurately represent the BZ-176, right? Just early access. By early access, you have chance to play these vehicles or something. I don't care. Alright folks, there you go. New hidden vehicles on the Russian server for 1.27. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
На границе тучи ходят кура.